Now listen carefully.
The Sagnac experiments proved that the ether is actually there.
Right? That's how you know you're being scammed. So back when Nathan Oakley kept saying things like science proves this, science proves, I took him and said, Nathan, you know science doesn't prove anything, right?
You can demonstrate, you can prove that there is a cause and effect relationship.
Well, water, well, what about this water or muddy water? Well, no, each one of those would give an empirical result, and it would be just for that thing.
They're scamming. So, because if they can keep perpetuating.
Yeah, I'm going to expect a retraction from you, JERAN. Of course, it wouldn't have mattered what I put through that hypothesis because it can only prove. That's all it does.
There's a reason why we needed to know why water, which is drinkable water, usable water, boils at a particular temperature at sea level pressures. Because that's the water that we're going to be using in our homes. That also involves pressure and helps us to understand pressure, because water will boil at different pressures, at different temperatures, at different pressures. So it wasn't just a case of, we just did it for nothing. Why didn't we use dirty water? Why didn't we use water that we're not going to be able to drink? Why didn't we use muddy water or salt water? Why didn't we do that? Because we're not going to be using those on a regular basis.
Oh, no, you could. Which is to say that you can presume it as the cause. You come across a hot spring, it's boiling. You go, I wonder what causes that. So you go and grab a bucket of it, and you take the bucket away, and you think, oh, look, it's stopped almost immediately after I took it away from the hot spring. I'll just take the word hot away, because it gives the game away. The spring, the boiling spring. So you take a bucket of it, and you go, oh, look, it's stopped doing that almost immediately. Maybe it's because in the spring that's in the earth, there's loads of soil in it. Maybe it's the soil content that caused the water to boil. So then you can vary the soil content. That would be a presumed cause of the effect. If A, that's soil content, then natural phenomena, B, boiling water. If A, that's you add or vary the soil content, then B, boiling water. Or if A, soil content, then not B, not boiling water. So let's put JERAN's very, very good idea about the soil content. Yeah, that could be a independent variable, JERAN. It's real. You can vary it, and it's in the hypothesis because you put it there. What about the soil content? Yeah, you can vary that. And we're going to do that right now, aren't we, lads? We've all got our buckets ready with our soil, is that correct? Yeah, we have. Now we're all going to actualise a hypothesis, just for JERAN. What we're going to do is we're going to vary A, that's our soil content, and we're going to see if it causes B, the water to boil. Right, lads, after 3, everyone add their soil. Now, have we proven our null hypothesis? I'll repeat what that was. If soil content, then water, not boiling. Did anybody get the water to boil to confirm the alternative?
No.
So, did we prove our null?
Yep.
So with JERAN's careful advice about soil content in water, that would be something we can vary and put into a hypothesis and put through the method of science. We have, just for JERAN, proven that soil content doesn't cause water to boil. We've proven that for you, JERAN. Proven it. I absolutely expect a retraction and apology for your claims of me being a scammer. I won't launch into the personal assault you launched on you in Skype yesterday. I won't swear at you and lose my temper with you and display my disgust and outrage towards you. I won't do that on this live show. I'll keep it civil. But I expect a retraction from JERAN, who has labelled me a liar and a scammer. And I've taken his example, put it through the method, and proven the null prediction. If A, soil content, then not B, boiling water. We proved that here today, JERAN. Proved it. Of course, it wouldn't have mattered what I put through that hypothesis because it can only prove. That's all it does.
This is like a sobering moment. We're having to argue with somebody about the cause of water boiling because they believe in something they can't prove.
They're scamming people somehow. I don't know if it's for money or what they're doing, but they're not being honest, which means they're scamming. So, because if they can keep perpetuating,
Yeah, I'm going to expect a retraction from you, JERAN. Yeah? I'm not scamming anybody. I'm not lying. I'm not conning people out of money. I'm disseminating the facts of the scientific empiricism a method when adhered to can provide. That's proof. But you're not going to turn around and call me a scammer when in reality you're bait and switching people that you can prove ether by showing them magnetic and electromagnetic effects. That's a bait and switch, otherwise known as a scam. And you're not going to tell people that you've got an experiment that Zach's provided with you when it's not based on a valid hypothesis. If it was, like we did with your soil supposition of cause, you could prove if it caused things or not. You just don't have any of those things, JERAN, and you're damn sure not going to be calling me a scammer as a result of me disseminating these facts about proof that the scientific method offers. I expect a retraction.
It's actually projection, Nathan. They're the ones that are scamming.
Close a suitcase with ether in it, because that's what you're supposed to be proving, but open a suitcase with electromagnetism in it. That's called a bait and switch, a con, a scam, a fraud.
Bob said that it was science.
now listen carefully.
What science has known for hundreds of years, and that is the existence of the ether.
Whitsitt gets it said it can't be scienced. And he also said that it's a reification fallacy. This is Whitsitt.
Now listen carefully.
To claim magnetism proves the ether would be a reification fallacy.
To associate ether with the magnetism.
Now listen carefully.
The Sagnac experiments proved that the ether is actually there.
So what is going on here?
You're being scammed.
Their own side is arguing within this argument with themselves. And we come to a point that you say 4 years ago, when you were on that show with Bob trying to tell him about the scientific method, I was subscriber to Globebusters, and that's how I found out about your channel. So I watched that whole debate. And at that point, I realized what was happening, what Bob was doing. Now, Jen's doing similarly the same thing that Bob did then. And so that's how I came on your panel, followed your show, because I couldn't believe what I was hearing. Now, hopefully the audience could realize we're not attacking Bob or Whitsitt or JERAN in a personal manner. It's the words out of their mouth that are dumb. These people are on our side, on the flat earth side, but at the same time, we're seeing what happens over time. And what happens over time is we realize with what's going on in the world, that term, believe the science, trust the science. Well, we know that's not true because of how they're using the word science, and we have the best defense for it. Is it gone through the scientific method? Can it be proven? Can it be validated? What's your hypothesis? How do you attack that? And this is what's being attacked, and all on the basis that they can't show ether through it.
That's how you know you're being scammed.
Whitsitt agrees there is no scientific evidence that for ether. Ether is belief, and that it doesn't have scientific evidence for it. That's the basics of it, right? He agrees that scientific method is, like, he's not disagreeing with that. Scientific method is absolutely necessary.
Your thing about the science, I actually don't fully disagree with you. I think the answer is nuance. Okay, what this is you can demonstrate, you can prove that there is a cause and effect relationship.
The Sagnac experiments proved that the ether is actually there.
Right? That's how you know you're being scammed. So back when Nathan Oakley kept saying things like science proves this, science proves, I like took him and said, Nathan, you know science doesn't prove anything, right?
You can demonstrate, you can prove that there is a cause and effect relationship.
They're scamming.
What science has known for hundreds of years, and that is the existence of the ether.
I like took him and said, Nathan, you know science doesn't prove anything, right?
What science has known,
You know science doesn't prove anything, right? Right? That's how you know you're being scammed.
experiments proved that the ether.
You know science doesn't prove anything, right?
Can prove that there is a cause and effect relationship.